Alright, so this is going to be my tutorial on like the introduction into blindfold cubing. Focusing on 3x3 because that's all I know, except for 2x2, but that doesn't really count. Alright, so start off, cube I use is a Lunwy. I use it because it's very smooth, it's very durable, you can trust it. Never pops, you have to really like twist the cube to get it to come out. It's a pain in the butt to get back in if it's a bad pop. So this is the cube I use. I use white on top, green in front, just the way I memorized it. Alright, it's gonna be really hard to tell you. Alright, so the way I do it is called 3OP, 3 cycle orientation permutation. That just means that every cycle I do is 3 pieces, except for parity, because that is like 4 or just 4 pieces. Alright, then orientation is the first step I do after memorizing is orient all the pieces so that all the setup moves I do will like keep all the pieces twisted properly. And then permutation, I move all the pieces, put them in the right place, solve the cube. Alright, so the way I orient the pieces so that when I do the setup moves it will be solved is that I never use any F turns, any F prime turns, and never any B turns or B prime turns. So the way I do that is just scramble out here. Alright, so first off I do is edge orientation, and the way I look at this is for this scramble, just this edge here and that one, then this one and this one would have to be flipped, because for this one, no, this is kind of obvious, it's in the place it's supposed to be, it's just flipped, so that's pretty easy. This one is, in order to move it onto the yellow face, I would have to do a B turn, because then the yellow is on the same side. But I don't do B turns, also mess up everything else. So I would only be able to do an R turn, but there it would be flipped. So in that sense, it would have to be flipped during when I orient all the pieces, so that when I do the R turn, it would be yellow facing down, and then I could just cycle it properly into its position. And for these two pieces, this one, if I do this one right here, if I do an R piece, R, and then I move it around, it would be flipped incorrectly. Or I'd scratch that. If I did the setup move, I would have to do a B turn, and then that would be in its place. I could rotate it there and it just wouldn't work. Turn that, yeah, like that. Sorry about that. And then this piece right here, it has white on it, and if I did the B2, which is one of the setup moves I'm allowed to do, it would be incorrectly turned. Alright, for edges, if they have yellow or white on them, the yellow or white has to be either facing up, facing down, facing forward, or backwards. So for this one, this is one of the pieces that is incorrectly turned. It's facing right, there, so that has to be flipped. For edges, I just kind of need to like navigate it throughout the cube using the setup moves I would use, and if they don't work, then it has to be flipped. There's always an even number of pieces that have to be flipped, because when you're like cubing regularly, one edge cannot be flipped, nor can 3, 5, 7, etc. So this one, that one, this piece right here, and that one need to be flipped. So I'm just gonna like do this as I go to avoid confusion. I use just 2 algorithms to flip the edges. I'll do the algorithms later. Alright, next is corner orientation. This is really easy to see, pretty simple to memorize. It's the last thing I memorize. I do everything visual. It just works for me. It might not for you, but there's tons of memorization techniques. Alright, so every corner has yellow or white on it. white, yellow on every single cube, every single cubey corner around the cube. And for this, either yellow or white has to face up or down. So right here, these three pieces are incorrectly oriented, as are these three pieces. Alright, so I just use very simple algorithms for this, turning this one clockwise and this one counterclockwise. No, I turned this one clockwise, that one counterclockwise, sorry. Flip backwards. I just did that simple algorithm, and then they're oriented. And here, I do these two. Right there and there. Then oriented. Then this one, that one, I just do a setup move of these two corners right there. Then I undo the setup move. Then all the corners are oriented correctly. Alright. Alright, the next step I do is permute the corners. Sorry, I've never done this with looking at it, it's kind of weird. Alright, so how I memorize this is, look at this as the first piece. I used to do numbered, like I used to memorize numbers, but I just stopped that. So I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'd start at 1 and then do the cycle and then start at the lowest number still available that wasn't used in the previous cycle or previous cycles. So here, this piece, the white, red, and blue has to go right there, because white, red, blue. That piece goes there. This one goes here, and then that goes back there. This is very easy. 3-piece cycle, that to there to there, and then that I could just do in one simple algorithm, so that these corners are all solved right there. Alright, so next what I do, this piece is the next one, so that would go there. This piece go there. This one would go there. That would go there, and then this piece would go back there. Since there's 5 in this cycle, it would just be done, no parity, easy. So this one goes there, that goes there. Alright, here I'd have to do a setup move, which means move this there and keep it oriented correctly. Then I'd move the pieces around, then undo the setup moves. Alright, so that piece solved, that is solved. This piece is what was there, and since I just did the 3 cycle, the piece that was here went here, so that explains why that's there. So now this goes there, and that goes there, and that goes back up there. Alright, so here I do another setup move. I do the algorithm, and turn it back, and then all the corners are solved, as you can see. Alright, next is permutation of the edges. This is a little bit more confusing because you have to not do any F prime, B, or B prime moves, but you get used to that pretty quick. Alright, so here we have, again, I started with numbers, so I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So that's just what I did. Easy. Alright, so first I'd start with number 1, or here, because now I think I said, I just use visual, so no more numbers. This piece goes right there. This one goes right there. That goes there. This one goes there. That goes there. This one goes over here. That to there. This one to here. Orange, white goes right there. And that one goes there. One cycle, auto mode of pieces, no parity, easy. Alright, so first 3 pieces. This one goes here, and this one goes there. Alright, so the way I do this is I'd get all the pieces on the U face, just the easiest way to do it. So this would be there. So now I just use a 3 cycle algorithm. Sorry if you can see that, you'll see the next one. So the piece that was here is now solved there. That one is solved right there. And then the piece that was here is right there. So now this piece goes to the 4th place in the cycle, which is right here. That goes there, which goes there. So here I do another setup, then the algorithm, undo the setup, then those pieces are solved. Now I have this one that goes down here. This piece is right there, and then this one goes right there. Alright, so this, I do another setup, so all the pieces that are moving are right here, and I do the algorithm, undo the setup, there we go. So now this piece was the last piece, wherever it was, right there, I think. Now that's there. So this piece, now lastly, goes right here. Now this piece goes down here, and this one goes up here. So lastly, I just setup move, and then I would do algorithm, and I undo the setup move. Cube is done. Sorry if that was really bad. I don't really know. First tutorial I've ever done. Just leave me feedback, ask questions, message, comment, whatever. Alright. So now I'm just gonna go through the basic algorithms I use. To start, I'll do the edge. I'll do that. I'll do the edge orientation algorithms. So to start, let's just focus on this side of the cube. So this edge right here goes clockwise. Corner, sorry, goes clockwise, and this one goes counterclockwise. Algorithm I use for this is pretty simple. And this one is the mirror case of the last algorithm. This one counterclockwise. This goes clockwise. This is the algorithm for that. Yeah, so that's pretty simple. Alright, next for edge orientation. So I'm flipping this piece and this piece. Let's do this. Solved. Alright, so if I was to flip these two edges, I would just do a setup move. So I'd move, so this piece went there, just like that. Then I do the previous algorithm, undo the setup moves. Those two pieces were solved. Alright, now this for all four of the U-face pieces. Like that. Alright, now for permutation. I actually prepared this part. Alright, this is edge. I'll start with corner actually. Alright, so this is counterclockwise corners. Nope, crap. Clockwise corners, sorry. This one is there. This piece goes up here. This one goes back to the beginning right there. Alright, so we have this. Sorry, I'll play that again. Alright, we have this one is counterclockwise corners. This one goes there. This goes there. That one goes back there. Do that again. Okay. Alright, now edge permutation. This one is clockwise, and I hold like that. This piece goes there. That one goes there. That one goes back here. This one I just do a setup move, so I'd have the solved bar in the back. Just like that. And all the permutation algorithms I use are very common PLLs. So that's a major step of the Friedrich method. So if you know that, that's good. This one counterclockwise. This piece goes there. That goes there, and then that piece goes back there. What else? Alright, so for parity, there's sometimes 4 edges not solved, or 4 corners. Alright, so if you ever have 4 edges not solved, and you can use setup moves to place them like this. So these two would swap, and these two would swap. Just use this algorithm. There you go. Or this one. These two need to switch. These two need to swap. I don't really use that as much because after I do it, I don't know to do U or U prime. I usually just mess it up, so I don't want to do that. And for corners, this is the same as the first parity of edges I showed you, kind of. But you just do U2 at the end. Always solved. This is another algorithm you could use. Swap these two corners, but I don't use it. I don't know why I should. It's probably pretty useful. Just like that. Alright, and there are like pretty much every PLL that rotates 4 pieces could be used. Like, I sometimes use this one. If I have, like, say these 2 edges and these 2 corners to be swapped, I use the setup moves to put them here, and then I just do this algorithm. Solve it. If you know PLL, then that would be very, very helpful for this. Alright, I think that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. As I said, you can leave a comment or message, whatever, that's fine. Memorization method I use, just visual. I just map it out in my head, memorize the pattern, just like that. I use a Diane Lunwy. Yeah, it's good. It cuts corners very well. This one I got from IQ Mart. I recommend them for anything really. And it has the lubricant in it. It's very helpful. So if you're looking to learn blind, I hope this helps. Thank you for watching.